Hello guys, today I will share with you new features that I added to my Scrum board, the same Scrum board that we built in previous video, and I use this system for last month, maybe months and a half. First feature that I added, it is a calculator of complexity to understand the complexity of each task and to better understand how many resources do I need to finish the job. I also added the project database. It helps to separate simple tasks and complex tasks. And I also edited new statuses to separate done and archive and in progress and waiting for response when some tasks may be shared with other people and we waiting for their response. In previous video we built action zone. It is a database. Here we have two views of this database. This one is backlog. It is future tasks or maybe ideas. And this is task view that consists simple tasks which we need to do. Let's start the updates from status property. I will add two new statuses. The first one is waiting for response. Waiting for response. And archive. I will mark as gray and waiting for response for maybe red. And I also changed the name from no started to next in line. So what is the benefit of waiting for response status? It helps us to separate the tasks and actions that we need to do and tasks and actions that we are waiting for from another people. What is archive? Archive is a directory to save non-actual ideas. We can delete them or mark as done, but I think it's better to archive them and get the opportunity to look at some archive ideas in the future. So if you like, you can delete, but I mark them as archive. What else? If you remember, we have checkbox for mark some tasks or backlog as done, but I changed this property to formula to check status. If prop status is done, this formula will check the checkbox done and checkbox is marked. Great, it will help us to save a few seconds for every task in our database. What else? Okay, let's take a look at our tasks view. We see their new statuses, waiting for response, done, and archive. Archive we can hide in this view, and I also like to make it full width. And what we see? There are few tasks. Task number 1, task number 2. So in this view, we don't need to see the checkbox anymore, and we can hide team property too. As I promised you, I will add the complexity calculator to this database. The complexity will be a new property. New property. Complexity. Oh, not text, it is select property with a few options. First is not set, and next is 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, then 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. So what are these numbers? If you are familiar with Agile methodology or Scrum planning system, you may know why I use these Fibonacci numbers to mark the complexity. The explanation is really simple. Our mind is not flexible enough. We can understand the difference between 1, 2, and 3 very good, but when it's go higher, when we talk about 20 and 21, it seems like no big difference between them. So the Jeff Sutherland show how to use Fibonacci sequence to mark the complexity of tasks. In his book about Scrum, it is really simple. Why these numbers? 5 is 3 plus 2, 8 is 5 plus 3, 13 is 8 plus 5, and so on. So this gap helps better understand the difference between numbers and to mark the complexity better. So now we have the complexity property, and we can understand if it works for 3 or it is simplest work for just 1, or this is maybe some complex work now for a few days for 13. Now we can run these items. Okay, let's go back to our tasks database and manage the property. Let's add complexity property to this view. It is important to add the complexity parameter to every page and every task in this view. So we will add filter, but for the first let's mark as not set, or maybe 3. And we also need to add the filter for complexity. And there is one more option. Complexity is not empty. So in this view, we will, if we will add new task, it will automatically mark as not set complexity, and we easily can change it to anything we want. It will be not empty. Okay, and let's add the complexity parameter in our backlog view. I will mark these items with not set complexity and add the filter for complexity. Complexity is not empty. It is not empty. So the new item will automatically mark as not set. What we see at our done tasks view. The complexity is here, and if this task is 2 or 3, but we can't summarize the results because of using select property. To calculate the resources, we need one more property. But firstly, let's add our project database. We will create table, view, projects, new database. Here it is. Tag property we will change to relation with our action zone. This relation will be shown in action zone 2. Okay, tags, the name of this property is actions or tasks. Actions will be okay. And here it is new property as project. Project number 1. Let's go back to our tasks view. Let's add the projects property to this view, because if we have some tasks for a particular project, it will be good to see what we're doing here. Project number 1. For example, these tasks are related with our first project. I'd like to change the complexity to the bottom, and what we have. We see that 2 actions to our tasks are related with our project number 1, but how can we calculate the amount of work we need to do to finish the project number 1? Let's go to our done tasks and add new property. This property will be formula, and this formula will calculate the resources. Resource calculation. And we add this formula. But what does this formula do for us? Firstly, it checks is the status archive. If the item has archive status, there is 0 complexity. If the complexity is not set, it set 0, 2, and if it is 1, it is 1. If it is complexity with tag number 2, it shows us its number. If 3, 3, 5, 5, and so on. Done. And Here it is. Complexity is 2. So number is 2. Complexity is 3. It is 3. So let's see here in backlog. Calculation. Resource calculation. If the status is archive, it shows us 0. Great. So what about projects? How can we calculate the complexity or the amount of work we needed to finish some project? We need to add the Rollup property. Rollup works through the relation property. We choose the relation what we need to roll up. We use property in a related database. We need resource calculation. And what we need to calculate in our rollup? We need to calculate the sum of items that are related to this page. And the number, classic number, estimate of project complexity. So this is number 3. Why? Because we have 2 related tasks, and if we switch from non-set to, we measure that this task will be number 5 of complexity. So the estimate of project complexity changed to number 8, and so on. We created the project database. We also can create the template to add related tasks. If you like me to update this template, please put the comments below. I will add the project template and maybe some new features in the future. If you like this video, put the thumbs up, and you can see the link to this template in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.